Just when you think you've seen the new guns out for this year, FX come out with their new lineup and throw a lovely sounding spanner right into the works, throwing my recently completed best bullpup review into complete disarray, but will probably put a real dent into my bank balance as well. Hello and welcome to AAR on Air. Yes, I have 3 of the latest offerings from the guys at FX, all from the Dreamline modular range. I will be reviewing these over the next few weeks, along with the latest FX Chrono. But don't worry, we haven't gone totally FX mad. We've also had more bullpups and springers and best chrono tests and testing of the latest Hades pellets from JSB and so much more. It's gone crazy here and Drapers are bombarding me with new and exciting stuff for you guys. But first, the FX Dreamline Bullpup, which has more than a passing resemblance to the Wildcat, a firm favourite of mine. In fact, this one is mine. Let's take a quick look first then. Outwardly, you could easily mistake the Dreamline for the Wildcat. That is until you look closer. Then the subtle but very important differences become obvious and evident. The 177 and 22 versions are a similar length at 720mm with a beautiful light weight of 2.4 kilograms unscoped. That minimal weight becomes even more minimal when you're shouldering it and it becomes stable, very close to the body. When you go back to pick up the Wildcat, that weight difference is even more noticeable. The synthetic stock version is almost identical to the Wildcats, which pleases me no end, because this is a really comfortable design and feel. The trigger area is also the same, and the Dreamline has a match trigger that has been set a beautiful, usable 15 ounces by the factory. You can adjust it if you like, but is, like the rest of the gun, fully adjustable if you want to change it. The supplier, ASI, do warn you against over-adjustment, so please, if you feel the need to adjust it, be careful. From there, the two guns part company in the similarity stakes, and the modular design of the Dreamline becomes very evident. This really does feel like evolution at its best, which is a strange thing to say because the Wildcat is a superb tool that you wouldn't ordinarily be crying out to change anyway. The first thing to point out is probably the only potential downside of the Dreamline Bullpup, and that is the cocking mechanism is set right to the back, which feels smoother and easier to use than the previous Wildcat because it's less restricted by the mechanical system that it needs to operate. In use, it is possible to cock it without taking off target. So whilst this initially seems like a backward step, it's actually a real improvement in feel and action. The magazine is no longer a simple 8-round system, but a slightly more complex 22-round magazine in this, the 177 caliber. The number of rounds per magazine does reduce as you go up the caliber, because the 22 holds 18, 25 holds 16, and the 30 holds 13 rounds. Loading the magazine is really very simple, and whilst it's a little more time consuming to load, the trade-off is the highest shot count, of course. To load, first thing you do is remove the clear cover by twisting that locking lug to the open position. Then turn the internal spring-loaded wheel and all the way around until it locks. Drop in your first pellet head first, which will then hold that in place. Make sure it doesn't come all the way through the other end, and then simply backfill all the rest, which is going to take you some time. Once you've filled it, drop on the plastic cover, rotate the click mechanism through 180 degrees, and then you're ready to slot straight in to the gun. You know, this really is a huge item, and I love how they call it high capacity. Blimey, much bigger, and you'll be doubling the weight of the gun in ammo. But seriously, this magazine should keep you going for some time. Heck, buy a spare and it would probably keep you going on a rabbit hunt all day. Yes, like I said, this goes up to .30 caliber, but that is really aimed at the FAC or non-UK market. The larger calibers also come with a longer barrel at 600mm rather than this, the standard 500mm, which takes the overall length to 835mm in total. The barrels are the FX Smooth Twist X match grade free floating items that FX is famous for, and they really are accurate, as you will see later. The barrel has a standard 1/2-inch UNF thread on the end to allow you to fit silencers or moderators if you want. Without one, I wouldn't say this is whisper quiet, but it's not excessively loud either. I would, however, fit one if this was mine. This, being the lower end caliber, has a 220cc air cylinder under the barrel, which is filled to 230 bar. Larger cc versions are fitted to the higher calibers. There is also the synthetic bottle version for even higher capacities. Shot count. Sadly, I don't have any official figures for it, but of course is caliber and power dependent. So I would need to give you about 30 different figures because this is fully adjustable on power as well as barrels, in caliber and twist rates, adjustable trigger, and of course the AMP regulator. It doesn't stop there because the hammer tension is also adjustable. This really feels like FX saying the answer's yes. What's the question? Certainly when it comes to adjustments. A word of caution for the UK sub 12 foot-pound market. The regulator pressure adjustment is not possible, and trying to adjust this could cause damage and of course would void your warranty. Whilst we're on the subject, the front caliber power adjuster is for FAC guns too, and should be set to 0.25 and 0.30 for higher power in conjunction with the rear gauge, and 0.177 or 0.22 for medium power. Now I fitted a simple 3-9x40 AO Hawk scope to this for the target work and was really pleased with the results. I got settled in and then got carried away, realising this gun is a very capable item and giving you confidence and rewarding you with its results. It feels like it's even starting to flatter you. Then on reflection, I thought I was doing the gun an injustice and soon upped the scope and fitted the 8-32x50 Hawk Air Max to the 11mm dovetail rail. This is a hugely capable rifle, or should I say bullpup, when it doesn't really matter because this is a modular gun and can be either, both, either. Take a look at the target work now, out at 40 metres on quite a calm day for once. You know, I was getting so carried away, I was looking in the box for a single shot tray. Sadly, there isn't one, but it copes perfectly well without. Power then, well, this is consistent with a maximum 789 feet per second using 8.44 grain JSBs, which is 11.61 foot-pounds or 15.75 joules. But it had a maximum spread of only 5 feet per second, and I shot 40 rounds over the chrono with this to get those figures. You know what? This gun is responsible for upsetting quite a few weeks' work that I've been involved in reviewing bullpups. I have reviewed higher end and lower end bullpups and several in the middle. This one, at its £1,150 UK price, does come at the higher end of those, and I know won't be affordable for everyone. But for the select few who can get their hands on one of these, and believe me, that will be a task in itself, they're not only going to be more than happy with their purchase, but probably seen by others through very green eyes. I have 2 more FX Dreamlines, one that I've reviewed and another one to do. And I'm genuinely looking forward to it. I'm finding myself making up excuses to shoot these. When I picked these up from Draper's, they called a guy to offer him one of these rather than keep him waiting for his Wildcat that he'd ordered. And over the phone he said no. Now I love my Wildcat, but I wanted to try this before I'd have said no. Now I could go on all day about this, and some would agree and some would disagree, but this feels quality, as does a Weihrauch. But this has design, function, is engineered and a thing of beauty, not just German efficiency, as in the Weihrauch. I really need to find some excuses for hanging on to this for a lot longer. Thanks for watching.
If you've enjoyed this review, don't forget that you can come over to Airgun 101 where you can see more of your favourite reviewers. There's also things on there that you may not see on YouTube. So go on over, airgun101.com, subscribe, and I'll see you there.